Is this your idea of playing with your dog? Now, don't get me wrong, fetch is a fun game, but I'm pretty sure that your dog thinks you are more fun. Play is so important for our dogs. Humans have hobbies, but dogs have play. Now, maybe you'd like to hike or read or sew or bake. Our dogs can't do any of that. Their world is much more limited, and they rely on us for stimulation. Now, that's our job as a puppy parent. So take your job seriously and learn how your dog would like to play. Michele here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Play is more than just throwing a ball. One of the things dogs love most is to play with their humans. In today's video, we're going to talk about canine play, how to do it in a way that your dog will love, and also how to show you a few good toys that I recommend. Oh, and if you're trying to get your dog to fetch a ball and bring it back, I got some great info on that too. Now, if you're watching this video looking for actual games to play with your dog, I'm going to get to that. But first, I want to talk a little bit more generally about play. Now, this is going to be a two-part series. All you need to do is subscribe to be notified when the next video on play comes out. All right, let's get going. My first tip on how to play with your dog is think like a dog. Do things that he loves. Dogs have species-specific behaviors that many of them enjoy universally. These are things like chasing, digging, hunting, pouncing, stalking, and foraging. Now, not all dogs love all of these things equally, but it's a good place to start when thinking about what your dog likes to do. Now, once you figure out what he likes, try to add that into play sessions. Now, if you're worried that this kind of play is going to encourage behavior you don't want, I want to let you in on a little tip. If your dog gets to do these things during play, he's much less likely to do it when you don't want him to. Now, it's not a magic wand or a light switch, but your dog's behavior is telling you something about his wants or his needs. Are you listening? So let's take foraging as an example. Dogs love to forage. They love to search around for things to sniff and taste. So it makes sense that many dogs love busy boxes. I talk about busy boxes in this video, but essentially it's a box filled with stuff. And your dog has to move the stuff around to get the treats or the kibble. Now, if you give your dog an opportunity to do this kind of behavior in a way that works for you, like a busy box, he's less likely to do it in your garbage can. Now, this is just like a child drawing on the wall. Drawing on the wall doesn't fit into our adult world, but don't take away the markers or the child's ability to draw. We just redirect them to paper. This is how we work on it with our dogs too. Now, my next tip involves toys. Sure, it's great to buy toys for our dog, but when you can, I encourage you to play with the toys with your dog. The best toys are the ones that your dog loves. Now, I have a few that I recommend in this video, but your dog might be different. Now, it might take some trial and error to figure out the type of toy that works best for your dog's playstyle. Just keep in mind that dogs love toys, but dogs love their humans even more. Do not expect toys to be a substitute for training or for human interactions either. In addition, sometimes dogs need humans in order to figure out how to make the toy work. This toy, like the Bob-a-lot, is one I recommend a lot. Do you like what I did there? I put the link in the description below. Now, if you want to check it out, you can, but some dogs aren't sure how to get it to work at first. The dog has to push it around just so in order to get the treats to come out. And some dogs are a little uncertain about the loud sound the plastic makes on the floor. So in this case, I recommend the human get down on the floor with the dog. Show him how tipping it one way produces a treat. Cheer him on when he's getting close to it or when he figures out how to get the treat out. Just be part of the play so that you and your dog will have a good time. Now, my next tip is to arrange playtime with other dogs. Now, as you saw in this video, I don't recommend dog parks though. There's a better way. I do recommend playdates with dogs who have been vetted and have a similar temperament and play style. Now, in my online course, I have a lesson on how to evaluate if a playdate is the right match and how to interpret body language of dogs. It's one of the most popular lessons among my students. Now, you can begin setting up playdates with vaccinated dogs after your pup has received his second round of vaccinations. So, you see, it's a balance. Playtime alone, playtime with other dogs, and playtime with humans. All three are needed in a dog's life, and your dog will tell you how much of each one he prefers. This is what Pickles likes. Now, your dog's pie chart might look similar or not. Here are a few more tips for playing with your dog. Challenge him, like with the Bob-a-lot. There's no need to give up if it's too hard, but don't make it too easy either. Dogs are working species. They like to work for their rewards. So, although you should start easy so he gets the hang of the game, feel free to make it a little challenging as he figures it out. Things like hide the treat or even tug should be a little challenging to make it interesting, but let him win frequently. You want to find the proper balance of making it a challenge but still letting him win. Did you know that when playing tug, your job as the human is really just the tug holder? It's not good for growing puppy joints to be jolted all around. So, by simply being the holder, it allows the dog to do as much of the tugging as he's comfortable with. But sometimes you should let go. You win, Fido. This is rewarding and you can celebrate along with him. Good boy, way to go! Alright, of course he doesn't understand your words, but believe me, he's picking up on what you're laying down. Your tone of voice and your body language are dead giveaways. Sometimes you might also need to help him. Look for signals that he's confused or frustrated. This often looks like a dog making eye contact with you or sitting down and stopping his game. Or he might just wander off. That's okay. He's communicating something. Now, this is a time to evaluate if he's been playing long enough and wants a break, or maybe the game got a little too hard. Now, if you think it's too challenging, break the task down into smaller, bite-sized steps or offer some assistance. Now, if you're playing hide and seek, for example, take a step closer to the toy or gesture in the direction of it. Now, you might even model looking for it, like you want him to do. So next time you hide it, just make sure that it's a little easier and he can get the hang of the game faster. Just one more thought. If your pup wanders off in the middle of a fun game, evaluate if he needs a potty break. All that excitement might be revving up his system and he's gotta go. You can learn more about potty signals and how to recognize them in this free kit. The link is in the description below. Now let's talk about chase. Dogs often love to chase, but this is where it gets a little tricky. Do not chase him, but let him chase you. Now if you chase him, he might think it's a game when you're trying to get him to give up a sock or even a towel. If he likes to chase, use the flirt pole, a lure course, or a ball to satisfy the urge, or just let him run. It's totally fine for him to chase you because that strengthens the behavior of him coming in closer to you. Pro tip, if you need to get your dog closer to you in an emergency, run excitedly in the opposite direction. I know, it's totally against your human nature, but believe me, it'll have a better chance of working than you running toward him. When thinking of games to play with your dog, consider breed-specific behaviors. I'm talking about herding and swimming or chasing. Now, I always pick the corgis, but honestly, those guys just want to herd things. Let them have fun with herding. Using a ball, not the kids. So remember, the more he can do it as part of a structured play session, the less likely that he'll want to do it when you don't want him to. You do have to provide some contextual clues when it's playtime. So maybe it's a certain place where you play the game, or maybe only when you wear certain shoes. Eventually, you can pair words with this activity like, let's play! But at first, just establish the protocol and add in words way later. Now, I'm going to show you a few of my favorite toys for playing with dogs. But before I do, I want to give you a quick safety tip when it comes to play. Wait, but first, subscribe if you haven't already. You do not want to miss the second video in this series on this fun topic. Alright, safety tip number 1. Be careful of excessive jumping and running. So in general, puppies should exercise no more than 5 minutes per month of age a couple of times a day. This limit is recommended to protect the growth plates. So too much repetitive motion from running or jumping can cause damage, which often shows up much later when it's too late to stop it. So for this reason, we don't want you to use stairs as a play surface. Going up and down stairs as part of play is way too much repetitive motion for young puppies. Now, it's totally fine for them to walk up and down stairs as part of their daily life. You might have stairs that lead to the potty spot or another part of the house. That's no problem. We just want to avoid throwing a ball up and down the stairs as a way to get out all that pent-up energy. Nope, nope, and nopity nope. Now, the other thing I want to say is to never use laser pointers. Now, these tools can create light obsession in dogs that can transfer to things like sunlight, flashlights, reflective lights from phones or collars. Light obsession is almost impossible to extinguish and can create a lifelong obsession and anxiety to things you can't control like shadows and reflections. Okay, here are a few more tips on how to teach fetch, and then we'll talk about the toys. So, many dogs are natural retrievers. They don't need to be taught this skill. Other dogs have no interest in fetch. And if you want to teach your dog to fetch, first you have to evaluate, is this for you or for him? So, Go ahead and teach it if you want, but if he's really not interested in it, don't push it. But if you want to try it out, I'm going to give you the basics. There's actually a few more steps to teaching the skill, but I think you're going to get the gist. We're first going to start off in a very small area with minimal distractions. You're going to take an object and toss it a very short distance. The dog might naturally go check it out. Dogs are drawn to movement. And once he has it, you're going to want to call him back to you and shuffle backwards, pat your legs, and be really exciting. Have some tasty treats when he comes to you. Trade the toy for the treat. Good boy! So I want you to try this again a few more times, each time with a treat in exchange for the toy. Now if your pup seems to be enjoying this, you can start to toss that toy a little further and start to lower your excitement level so he gets used to going further and then coming back to you. Don't wean off the treats just yet. This is also a great game to teach him if you want him to drop something when you ask, and if you're addressing resource guarding. More information can be found on that topic here. Fetch doesn't have to be done with a ball. Anything your dog finds interesting is probably more interesting with some movement too. So take some time to evaluate what your dog wants to do when he brings it to you. Maybe he wants a game of tug, or maybe he wants you to play keep away. Add in a few extra elements and watch body language carefully to see if he likes them. Now if you have a fetcher, you can slowly wean off the treats until he simply enjoys the process of bringing it to you over and over again. Just do me a favor. Don't use one of those automatic throwing things. Exercising a dog and playing with toys without supervision is just a recipe for disaster. Dogs don't regulate themselves very well, so he's unlikely to stop until you tell him to, and that could be well past his threshold. Alright, let's just talk about toys that I love playing with my dogs. The first one is a flirt pole. Pickles loves this one because he's a chaser. This toy allows me to get a little more distance between us and move around a little bit faster. Now, as you see, I let him win by catching it sometimes. So when playing with a flirt pole, keep it on the ground. It's not meant to make your puppy jump. That's not sending the message we want, and it's also not good for growing joints like I mentioned. Now, if your dog loves to jump, consider an obstacle course or a sport that involves jumping. When they're fully grown, of course. Now the flirt pole is a great one for indoors or outdoors, and you can tie different things on the end of it, so it has new life. This is also a great one for kids to use when playing with a rambunctious puppy who likes to bite, because they almost all like to bite. It's natural. Kids using the flirt pole keeps the dog a little further away and minimizes accidents and knocking little kids over. Now the other one we love is the chuck it ball. Did you know that sometimes when dogs are catching or fetching balls, they can actually get them caught in their throat? The momentum of the ball might make it go further back than the dog intended. The chuck it ball has holes in it so the dog won't suffocate while you're trying to get it out, or at least gives you time to get to the vet. But my student Allison also likes it because she can put tasty things or other toys inside the ball, which gives it a whole new level of excitement for Lincoln. Sometimes she'll put in a chew stick so the stick never gets too small and dangerous. Lincoln loves to fetch anything, and having a ball around the stick or chewing item makes it easier to retrieve. So you can see how you can make up your own games and toys with things the dog loves. So this tug toy is another one of my favorite toys, also great for chasing. This long tug is so much fun for dogs to chase and grab onto with those strong jaws. Just remember, never lift the dog off the ground with it. Just like the flirt pole, this is best played with like a snake along the ground, or use it as a fetch toy too. The link to those 3 toys are in the description below this video. Alright, are you ready for my final tip on canine play? End play sessions with a cool down or a transitional activity. Now it can be really hard for some puppies to go from one exciting play session with their favorite human directly to napping in the crate. Now you'd find it difficult to go from water skiing immediately to nap time. Sometimes you'll need to build in some activities that help the puppy settle and prepare for that nap. So check out this video for some more good ideas on how to help your puppy relax. So after all these tips, are you ready to go play with your puppy? Now I'm pretty sure he or she is going to be ready to play with you. So go get to it. Tell me what kinds of play you and your puppy love to do together. Maybe I'll mention it in my next video on play coming up in a few weeks.